Students, welcome back to our English grammar class. And the last class we have discussed why we should learn the English grammar, or what is the need to learn the English grammar, and also we have discussed what is sentence, what is a subject and predicate, and the types of sentences. All we have discussed, and I have given homework also. So in this class I want to remind you, only few members submitted the homework, and still some students not submitted your homeworks. So those who are watching this video, just contact your friends and inform to them to watch the video and to do the homeworks. Okay, now today in this class, now we are going to discuss very important topic, that is a phrase and clause. Phrase and clause. Some members may know what is phrase and what is a clause. Some members may not able to remember what is a phrase and a clause. Now in this class I am going to explain you about the phrase and clause. It is very important topic, particularly for 10th class students, not only 10th class, 9th also. So observe carefully and understand it well. So here now I am writing some group of words here. Just observe here. In a corner. In a corner. So observe here some group of words what I have written on the board. In a corner. So do you think it is a group of words? No doubt in this. So do you think it has any complete meaning, or it has any sense? Do you think in a corner means what? There is no complete meaning, isn't it? So such a group of words, okay, which has some sense, some meaning is there. In a corner means what? In a corner, you know what is meant by the corner and all. So in a corner means some sense is there, but there is no complete sense or complete meaning. In a corner means what? What is in a corner? I didn't mention what is in the corner. Here only I have written only some group of word in a corner. It has some sense, in a corner. That's it. But what is the in a corner? I didn't mention. Have written only the group of word in a corner. It means it has some sense but not a complete sense. It has some meaning but not a complete meaning. Understood? Such type of group of words which has some sense but not a complete sense, we call it as a phrase. We call it as a phrase. Now you understood, no? The group of words which has some sense but not a complete sense is called as a phrase. Simply we can say it has some little meaning but it doesn't give the complete meaning. We call it as a phrase. Understood now what is phrase? A group of words which has some sense but not a complete sense. We call it as a phrase. Understood? So now I'll write some sentences. In that I will show what are the phrases in that particular sense, in that particular sentences. Now you observe the sentences. Okay, observe the carefully. Now you observe the sentences. What I said you, what is phrase? The group of words which make some little sense but not a complete sense, and we call it as a phrase. Okay, now you observe the three sentences, some examples what I have given here. Observe these last sentences. Okay, so in the east sat on a wall of great beauty. If you observe these three sentences, in the east sat on a wall of great beauty. We call this type of group of words as a phrases, means which makes some sense but not a complete sense. We call it as a phrases. Okay, so in the east sat on a wall of great beauty, such group of words which make sense but not a complete sense. We call it as a phrases. Okay, now I will tell you the clause. After knowing the clause, you observe. Here I am going to explain about the clause. So already just now I explained you what is a phrase. It's a group of words which makes some sense but not a complete sense or not a complete meaning. We call it as a phrase. Now I am going to explain you what is clause. After knowing about the clause, you can easily identify what is phrase and what is a clause. Okay, now you observe what is clause. So here I have written two sentences here. First sentence, observe, he has a chain of gold. Second sentence, observe, he has a chain which is made of gold. Okay, what is the second sentence? He has a chain which is made of gold. Do you find any difference in this sentence? Yes, difference is there. See, in the first sentence, he has a chain of gold. Here, of gold, it is the phrase. So, in the second sentence, if you observe, which is made of gold. Which is made of gold. So here is what? In the second sentence, here which will becomes the subject and is made of gold will becomes the predicate. It becomes the predicate. Okay. So what I am trying to say means a clause. The clause, what is meant by the clause means the group of words which makes the part of a sentence or which contains the subject and the predicate is called a clause. Subject and predicate is called a clause. So I repeat once again. So what is clause? The group of words which makes part of a sentence. You know, it is a complete sentence, isn't it? So, the group of words which makes part of a sentence and which contains the subject and the predicate is called the clause. Which contains the subject and predicate, we used to call it as a clause. Now you know what is a clause. Clause means what? It is a group, it is a part of the sentence. Okay, it makes a part of this sentence which contains subject and the predicate, which contains subject and the predicate. So you people might be little bit confused. So I will explain slowly. See, first of all, he has a chain which is made of gold. So as I said, the sentence contains a subject and predicate. So here he will be the subject and this all will be the predicate. That way you know. Now what I am telling, clause, it is a part of a sentence, okay, which contains the subject and the predicate, which contains the subject and predicate. We call it as a clause. Now here see, of gold, and here which is made of gold. Okay, if you observe these group of words in the two sentences, you can easily identify what is a phrase and what is a clause. Here there is no subject and there is no predicate. So there is no complete sense of gold. But if you observe here, you can see the complete sense which contains the subject and the predicate, which is made of gold, which is made of gold. In this group of words, we can see the subject and also predicate. So it has a complete sense or the complete meaning which is made of gold. Now this is the clause. I hope you understood what is a phrase and what is a clause. Phrase is also a part of a sentence. Clause is also a part of a sentence. But phrase do not have any subject and do not have any complete sense. But in the case of the clause, it is a part of the sentence which contains the subject and predicate. So this is about the phrase and clause. Now I will show some examples for the clause. After seeing that particular examples, still you will understand more. So now I will write the examples on the board. You can understand it well. Okay. Now you observe the examples here. Okay. Observe it carefully. Now you observe the examples for the clauses. I have written two sentences here. We cannot start while it is raining. And second sentence, I think you have made a mistake. Now I will just wait for the 1 minute. In these two sentences, which one are the clauses? Which group of words comes under clause? Just guess. Yes. So in this sentence, while it is raining, and here you have made a mistake. Okay. In the first sentence, we cannot start while it is raining. In this sentence, while it is raining is a clause. In the second sentence, I think you have made a mistake. In the second sentence, you have made a mistake is a clause. How means here while it is a subject and the remaining it is the predicate. Okay. And here you is a subject, remaining all are the predicate. I hope you understood. Clause is a part of the sentence which contains subject and the predicate. Understood, no? And what is a phrase? It is also a part of a sentence. Okay. But it doesn't contains, it has a sense but not a complete sense. Means it has a meaning but not a complete meaning. Okay, that is a phrase and this is a clause. I hope you understood what is a phrase and what is a clause. And now we are moving on to the next topic, that is already you have learned in your previous classes. In your primary classes you have learned, in 6th, 7th, 8th also you have learned. I won't explain in detail. I want to just recall your previous knowledge. Just I'll give a brief introduction about the parts of in your previous classes you have learned parts of speech. You have learned in the primary classes, you have learned in 6th, 7th, 8th classes. So what are the parts of speech? Okay. So now we'll discuss about the parts of speech. I won't explain in detail. Why? Because already you have learned. Even though I want to just recall your previous knowledge, I want to discuss about the parts of speech. So every time if anybody will ask you, for example, so what are parts of speech? Means what you will say? You will say noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, like this you will be saying. But no one will say what is the correct definition for parts of speech. Is there anybody who will say what is parts of speech or what is definition for the parts of speech? Anybody have think about this? Okay, now I will tell you. So words, words. Okay, words are divided into different kinds or classes. Words are divided into different kinds or classes. We call them as a parts of speech. Okay, so those words according to their use, it means what? According to their work in a sentence. According to their work in a sentence, the parts of speech is divided into totally 8 types. Okay, the parts of speech contains totally how many types? 8 types. Okay, so what are those? Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction and interjection. Understood? So parts of speech, it is nothing but these are the words. These words are divided into different kinds of classes. So what that words will do? So the words according to their work. according to their work, or according to their use, or according to their work in a sentence. According to their work in a sentence, the parts of speech contains how many kinds? Totally 8. They are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, adjective, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So already you have learned all this. So now I am giving some work for you. So you have learned this one. So you all should write the definition of each class, each kind, and you have to write the examples also, and you have to submit me that work to me, and based on how you have written that answers, whether I have to explain detail or I have to explain the parts of speech once again, I will decide after submitting your answers to me. Understood? So this is for today's class, and your homework is you have to explain these 8 parts of speech along with examples, and you have to submit me. Based on that, next class I will explain you about the parts of speech in detail, and afterwards we'll move to the next, the grammar part. Okay, so this is for today's English class. Again we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.